Are you constantly tired, struggling with sleep, or battling stress? What if I told you the answer might be in one supplement that you're overlooking? Today, the forgotten supplement and how it could be the key to unlocking better sleep, improving mood, and boosting your energy. Hey friends, it's Natalie here, and I'm thrilled to have you join me for another episode of the podcast today. I recently had a very eye-opening chat with Dr. Cheryl Kam about something you might not have given much thought to, and that's the supplement of magnesium. Yes, that's right, magnesium. In this episode today, we're going to dive deep into what I call the forgotten supplement and how it can be a game changer for your sleep, your stress, and your overall well-being. And you'll find out why. Spoiler alert today, it turns out most of us aren't getting enough of it, and that could be impacting everything from our mood to our muscle recovery. We're going to break down the different forms of magnesium because there are several, like glycinate and citrate, and we'll discuss which ones are ideal for your needs. Plus, Dr. Cheryl gives us insider tips on choosing the right quality of magnesium and offers practical advice for ensuring that you're not throwing away your money on something your body just won't absorb. Whether you're struggling with your sleep, maybe it's stress like a lot of us, or maybe you just want to feel better overall. You need your kids to feel better because yes, they can take magnesium too. This episode is packed with all kinds of valuable insights that you can apply to your day-to-day life. If you love what you're hearing here, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and be sure to check out my website where this week I'm going to break down the different types of magnesium and where you can get them. Let's get started today with a return guest, Dr. Cheryl Kam. Dr. Cheryl, so good to have you back on the show.
I'm very pleased and very grateful. Thank you.
I want to talk today about the forgotten supplement. People are hearing more about it, but to really understand it and to really get the benefit from it, we need to go deep into the different forms of magnesium.
Oh, absolutely. So with my background in family medicine and then retraining into functional medicine, I treat deficiencies in nutrients as my first step. We do move on to the hormones. We do move on into the calming the nervous system and the cortisol system. We do move on to gut work and all the rest of it. But the first step of mine is always giving the body what it needs. Either we've been lacking through our diet, or we're rinsing through it really quickly due to stress. And in my patients, I just have found that one of the easiest things to fix was magnesium. You did not have to test. In fact, you shouldn't test for it because most of it resides in your bones and within the cells, and you're never really going to find a lot of it in the bloodstream anyways. And so it wasn't something that I wanted to spend my clients' money testing. I would rather them spend the money getting magnesium, taking a safe form and watching your body respond to it. So I didn't want to keep this secret for just inside the consulting room and, decided to tell people and educate people more about the magic of magnesium and to really say that, if there's nothing that you're on, it's going to be magnesium, not even a multi-magnesium.
What are the issues if someone is deficient in magnesium that you would start to see? Are you ready to launch a side gig, maybe a small project or business? Need a professional logo that won't break the bank? Looka is the AI-powered logo maker that's perfect for entrepreneurs and freelancers. With Looka, you can create a stunning, unique logo in minutes without breaking the bank. Just answer a few simple questions about your brand and watch as Looka generates hundreds of custom logo options. It's like having a team of professional designers at your fingertips. So why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? Visit natalietysdal.com/favorites and start creating the logo your side gig or your small project deserves.
Yep. So anyone who has already had any kind of sleep issues, or if you tend to have headaches and migraines, right? Or are experiencing a less than stellar energy system during the day, focus, and mood, then it's quite likely that you're going to benefit from topping up your magnesium. Anyone with any kind of chronic disease, or if you're already taking a pharmaceutical medication here and there for certain conditions. Like, if you're taking a statin for your heart condition or you're taking a high blood pressure medication, then chances are your magnesium is also going to be lower and you're going to be in need for higher levels of magnesium replacement. It is a shame that we're not getting the magnesium from the food that we eat. We really should be getting it from the food that we eat, but I cannot vouch for the soil quality with overfarming. And the other thing that really rinses out our magnesium is the fact that when you're stressed, your body does not hang on to magnesium very well, and we find more of it in the pee than in the bloodstream. So it just gets peed out. Yeah, it's renally excreted. That means that it's processed by the kidneys and excreted that way. And us folk that like to drink coffee, tea, caffeinated drinks, caffeine itself will make you pee more, right? If you find that you drink coffee, you pee more, well, the magnesium also goes out with it as well. So that requires daily replacement for as long as we're coffee drinkers as well. So there are several things working against us in terms of how we're able to keep this magnesium in our body. And magnesium is required for almost every single cellular process in the body, from creating ATP energy, which is the basic functional energy currency of the cell, and within the mitochondria, which is much within the cell, our energy system, to muscle recovery, to how effective your heart can pump, to the relaxation of the arteries and the pressure within the arteries as well, to our brain health and our focus. Magnesium also will help somebody to regulate stress and has an effect on the cortisol system as well. There's almost what's to lose with, putting bucket loads of magnesium into a body and letting your body just take it in and use it, because I don't think anything's broken with most people's bodies. They do just need the right nutrients, and magnesium is actually the first one to really start with.
What are the different forms of magnesium? I think it's important that we talk about that, because taking one will help you sleep, taking another will help you go to the bathroom.
That's right. Well, you know what? It's so simple to me, because this is where people get stuck too. Oh, magnesium. Okay, well, there are 64 different types of magnesium. Which ones should I take? Should I take one for my brain health? Should I take threonate for my brain health, or should I take malate for my heart health? Should I take citrate? Should I take oxide so that'll make me poop? I want to just remind you that why are you taking magnesium? You're taking magnesium for the magnesium, right? You're not taking it for the salt form. You're not taking it for the glycinate. If you're taking magnesium glycinate and focusing on the glycinate, go buy some glycinate. If you're taking magnesium for the threonate for your brain health, then go buy some threonate for your brain health and get the full dose of, the amino acid threonate if you would like. But stay focused on the magnesium levels that we're trying to push into the cell. And when I did that, and I realized, and when I focused on that question and that problem, then the answer was very, very clear to me. Magnesium glycinate is the form with the highest bioavailability, the one that is easiest for our human body to absorb at the highest rate, and the safest one that you couldn't overdose even if you tried. Yeah, without even going through all the other forms, I actually find that trying to talk about all the other forms are kind of confusing. And I just want to get, So once you focus on getting the amount of magnesium into your cells, this magnesium is going to then create all the results that you were actually looking for. All the brain benefits, all the heart benefits, and all the muscle relaxation and the sleep benefits and the mood benefits as well. Yeah.
So better forms, we've talked about. Now the quality of the magnesium. Is there a difference if you're just buying it off the drugstore shelf?
Yeah.
Or buying it somewhere else?
Yeah, there are so many different kinds of magnesium. I mean, first of all, if it's, say, any kind of supplement, let's just say, right, if it's in a pill form, you must realize that it will have to have glues and binders to bind it into a pill form. So pill versus capsule, I'd go, capsule, because most of the time now we'll use veggie caps, and then we'll put kind of the pure powder inside. Then the other thing goes with the purity, because the supplement industry out there is quite messy in terms of how it's regulated. So you have to read into the brand and read into the label and be quite savvy about the content of the pill, the actual dose of the pill, and also what the other ingredients are. So sometimes there will be fillers, other preservatives, and whatnot once you start to get into gummies and sachets. So when I was creating supplements for my own patients that were very, very highly sensitive patients, chemically sensitive, allergic to everything, I just really needed to put pure magnesium into a capsule and give it to them. Some of them would have so sluggish a digestion, I would have to tell them to empty the contents of the capsule into a drink and drink that. And they would absorb it very clean, very, like unleaded petrol. It would just get into their cells very, very quickly, dissolve very quickly. And that was just magic. So, this is something that since the lockdowns, I decided, everything locked down. So I said, hey, I'm going to bring this out to the public because, everybody's anxious. Everybody can't relax. Everybody can't sleep. And this is just the magic mineral that I don't even have to consult anybody for. And it really should be in the drinking water.
Yeah, absolutely. So I take a form that I do just put in water, and it's just a fizzy powder, and it goes in the water. And it sounds like you like that. That's one way to get it quickly.
That's right. Yeah. With the formulations out there, it's quite nice to have one that fizzes up and goes in there. Then you're dealing with flavor and colors, and additives as well. So I've made one a little bit purist, absolutely, just in the capsule, because most people still like capsules because they don't want to handle taste, and it's quick. You'll take 2 capsules, you'll pop 2 capsules of magnesium a night. I make magnesium. I make a magnesium supplement. I would call it Kam, and I barely had to sell it because by word of mouth, people were like, oh my gosh, this works. Yes, it works. But not only that, the fact that we've maintained such a purist stance on the purity and the lack of other ingredients, we don't even have an other ingredients list or in our label because there just isn't. I had to put one because people are like, what are your other ingredients? And so now we have an other ingredients none line.
That's great. And what a great tip for people when you're looking for supplements or anything.
Even as a doctor and a practitioner and in functional medicine, it still took me some more to really look into this and be even more savvy about it. If you think about it, like a capsule can contain 500 milligrams of powder, whatever the powder is, And for me, I just said, well, fill the entire capsule with magnesium glycinate. That's it. I don't want to fill it with any less and then top it up with rice bran flour or whatever else, right? All the other toxicants, There is a long list of them that we won't go through in this call, which can build up effects in your body. And especially as a daily supplement, you don't want to be doing that. Yeah.
That's a great tip in all of your supplements to be looking for that. Let's talk for a minute about sleep, because you mentioned it, and it is one of the top complaints that I hear from my listeners is I can't get a good night's sleep. And we know there are a lot of things that we can do to help that, and going to bed at the same time, turning off the devices, all of those things. How does magnesium play into helping us get a solid night of sleep?
Absolutely. Magnesium itself is very relaxing. It goes into all your soft tissue and your muscles to relax it. Then when we're using magnesium glycinate, glycinate is also relaxing. So one hand, it's the form that your body can most absorb out of all the forms that are available today. But as a side effect, the glycinate part is also very relaxing as an amino acid itself. So when you combine those two and take them in the evening, it sort of like puts your stress levels down a little bit. From the day when your cortisol levels are up, it kind of helps you to go into the chill mode, because when your cortisol levels are up, it suppresses melatonin.
Yes.
Yeah. So once you get into this chill mode, you actually you allow your melatonin to naturally come into play.
So can you talk about that for a minute? Because there's a lot of back and forth on melatonin, because people will take melatonin and then find that they actually don't sleep as well by taking Now I want to hear your opinion on this. Are we overdoing the melatonin when actually something else could help our bodies actually produce its own melatonin?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I do make a sleep supplement along with Kam as well because of the sleep issues that everyone has. So it's Kam with deep sleep. and it contains melatonin, but I think you're missing out on a lot when you're missing out on such a key mineral that our human body requires. It's almost like a plant needs soil and you're not giving it soil. You're giving it another esoteric ingredient to try to hack that. But such a simple mineral like melatonin can just raise the bar for everything. Sorry, did I say melatonin? Yeah, magnesium raises the bar for everything, gives your body what it needs. It might just start to function normally. You may not need that melatonin at all. You may not need that valerian at all. You may not need the extra sleep support at all. But if you do, then it's going to work so much better when the magnesium's on board.
So I'm hearing you say it's this base. I like that analogy that you use. It's right. This soil that you have to feed.
What about that's our nutrition in a way?
Yes.
Like we're meant to, we're meant to have all our nutrients from nutrition. And because we live in the world that we live in and we live our lifestyles that we do lead, then we're lacking in this part of nutrition. Therefore, we're supplementing. Ultimately,
where does magnesium come in our nutrition?
In our food.
Where are we getting magnesium in our foods?
It's all over, especially when you're talking about fruits and vegetables. They're all over the fruits and vegetables in minute amounts, and in whole foods in minute amounts, in seeds and in nuts, especially pumpkin seeds.
I love pumpkin seeds.
It's almost, it's meant to have a lot in pumpkin seeds. So, you have to follow the, what you see on Chronometer or MyFitnessPal and the apps and trust that, right? That your pumpkin seeds really does contain that amount of magnesium. I just don't know.
Seeds. Yes. So I love pumpkin seeds, but tell me if I'm doing this wrong. I like to put olive oil on them and then put them in my air fryer, but I eat the shells. Is that okay? Have you ever done that?
Do they come in shell? Oh, I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Remind me what pumpkin seed shells look like even.
We always did this.
Pumpkin seeds are green, right?
Yes, but we always did this around Halloween. Okay, so now we're going to need to research this. I'll put it in the show notes. Around Halloween, we would, scoop out the pumpkin seeds. They're white.
Oh, yes.
They're big and they're gooey and, they're white. And we would rinse them when I was a kid. We would rinse them, clean them, and then we would toast them and we would eat them whole. And then only later did I realize, wait, the pumpkin seed it's green. What's this white? It's the shell. But we would eat the shell when you toasted it.
I can't see any problem with that.
Okay, well,
it's like extra fiber and,
I know, but not good unless you toast them. So now I just coat them in some olive oil and some salt and garlic and put them in the air fryer. And they're so good. Okay, you have to try it. Then let me know
with the shell. With the shell.
Yeah, with the shell.
Yeah, this needs to be looked into and researched, about the shell and making sure that it's not we're not somehow having some anti-nutrient with the shell as well.
We're gonna figure this out.
We're gonna have to figure that out.
But the green part, so the inside, if you just buy that, which is easy to buy, has good magnesium in it.
Right. And it's one of the highest when I was looking it up and creating some content around it. It was 30 grams. So that's less than a handful even, right? That provides 100 milligrams of elemental magnesium within that, right? That's one capsule of Kam. And the dose to supplement is 2 capsules of Kam. So imagine 2 tiny little handfuls of pumpkin seeds kind of doing the job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the reality of it is that somehow, as I mentioned before, it gets peed away and whatnot. And our actual daily requirements is 400 milligrams of elemental magnesium. So if you're taking it from food and you're settling 200 food, then I guess the other 200 is the supplemental form, and you're just kind of optimizing the body that way as well. Yeah.
I've seen other forms of magnesium, but I have struggled through my life, especially when pregnant, and then after with restless legs and nervous system thing. And I was always told, take magnesium. And sometimes it would help. But for me, it was just realizing I had a horrible shift in the newsroom and I was always tired. That's why my body didn't feel good when I didn't get enough sleep. So now in this new phase of my life, when I'm sleeping well, I don't have the restless legs. But there were other forms of magnesium that people suggested, like a spray for my legs, which I actually didn't find worked great. But have you found any other forms of, or even an Epsom salt bath, of some of those things that are helpful?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, technically, Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate, should penetrate the skin very nicely. And it just ties into a very nice evening routine of getting the bath done. Apparently it has detoxifying abilities and just like kind of is a little bit more like it's not a pill, you know, it's something that you can ease into your lifestyle and do that. But coming from a practitioner's point of view, where I'm so used to testing and treating and so used to kind of like standardizing the dose that anyone has, I definitely prefer to take a capsule because I know how much has gone into the person, especially from a diagnostic, from a treatment point of view. So I guess I'm coming from that angle. It's the same with the sprays as well. So magnesium chloride is used for the magnesium sprays, and we just cannot quantify how much of elemental magnesium truly gets into the body. To be honest with you, even with a capsule and in quantifying the amount that does go in the body, I cannot even be sure that how much of it is fully absorbed because everyone's digestion is going to be operating at a different level. So I try to minimize the variations as much as I can. And I just find like, okay, knowing the dose of what it is and exactly what's going into the body, we're doing our best from minimizing the variation from that point of view. And in fact, there are some people who use everything. Epsom salts, and I regularly have Epsom salt baths myself. And they'll use the spray, but they'll take the magnesium as well.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're not hurting anything by doing all of that.
No, you're not hurting anything.
Yeah.
No, that's right. I mean, we believe that the absorption through Epsom salts and the spray are not going to be that high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a time of day? If you're taking your magnesium in the morning, are you going to be relaxed and sleepy through the day?
Usually
Should you take it
not.
at night?
Usually not. When you take it at night, I guess you're more or less augmenting your natural body's relaxation. You know, and so you can take it right before bed, but you can also take it in the evening, and then it just kind of like chills you out, especially for moms putting kids to bed. And sometimes that's like a really heated time. Like I'll do that. Like, okay, let's just make sure that bedtime is chill for everyone. Like I'll have my magnesium and then I'll offer it to the kids as well. And, you know, some of them can take the pill and some of them I'll open it up into a citrus drink and we'll all have that. And then they'll all like a bit more relaxed and bedtime goes a bit quicker.
Well, that was my next question is the rest of the family. Is there an age that we should be thinking of for magnesium? At any age we need to supplement?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to create a need when there isn't one. And for children, especially, we really need to focus on giving them the whole foods that they require. Their digestions are a little bit, unless they're chronically unwell, usually when you give them what they need in terms of whole foods, their digestions tend to be quite robust to absorb it. But yes, every human being from the time that they're newborn has a RDA for magnesium. So 0 to 1, we can only say, hey, get it through the breast milk. So supplement the mom. And then from 1 to 2, there is an actual dose. But I would only really want to focus on that if the child's having irritability problems or, you know, muscle related problems or already has a chronic health disease or something, then you might want to supplement safely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this would be the only one that I would say that children can have because you have just no additives at all. And these capsules are literally opened up and the purity is 99% or more, which not many supplement companies can say. So we'll call it pharmaceutical grade. Anything that's more than 99% purity, we call it pharmaceutical grade. And when I last checked on ChatGPT, that only 3% of companies out there offer pharmaceutical grade supplements, and that's not for all their range. It's quite hard to get hold of. Yeah. So,
well, such great information. Thank you. I understand magnesium so much better, and I think that for anyone listening, look into your magnesium. And I want to put the link to your product in the show notes. So
thank you.
If you'll send that to me, I'll make sure people have access to that as well.
I have a little tip as well. Like if you wanted to have a look at your own magnesium, sometimes the labels will say magnesium spectrum, magnesium blend or something. And then you look into the blend, the cheapest possible magnesium that you can get that passes as magnesium is magnesium oxide. So if you have a company that's using magnesium oxide, you know they're cutting corners and you might want to reconsider.
Okay.
Because 1% of all the magnesium oxide that you have in there is absorbed by your body. 1%.
So
the
it's
rest
basically
of it
you're buying nothing.
Through.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I don't know whether it's nothing, because it's actually worse than nothing, because it passes through your gut and has an osmotic effect, pulls water in and gets you pooping, and sometimes even gets you in a diarrhea state. And if it does that, right, you might think it's good, but chronically you're losing electrolytes in the long run. So you shouldn't be getting diarrhea. But if you're having a smoother poop, maybe that's fine, Yeah. Magnesium glycinate also helps in that way, but it doesn't cause an osmotic diarrhea. It's the most tummy-friendly one, let's just put it that way. So it's not going to cause an osmotic diarrhea where you're going to then lose electrolytes as well.
Well, and a whole nother topic for another day, and I've done many podcasts on it, is the gut health and making sure that we're paying attention to that. And we want the magnesium to help in that way as well.
And not hinder.
Right.
Absolutely.
And not hinder. Yeah. Dr. Cheryl, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
I know
Natalie.
It's late your time, so I appreciate you staying up.
It's all dark
all the way
outside.
Over in Singapore. All right. All the best to you and your family.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining the Natalie Tysdal podcast. You can follow along on Instagram and at natalietysdal.com. Subscribe to the show to catch every new episode and leave a review so I can continue to bring you fresh content. See you next week.